vision, he told me. And in that vision I have seen the situation you are in right now. I should have killed you for my man who'll never see his light again. But fate has got another plan for you. And they asked what that is in this peculiar life's twist. Why should I trust a man I do not know? Your options, I believe, are scarce. From you I would expect no less than to clear the regions all too well. See, I ain't Jerusalem. This bastard's death been on our minds since he decided to break both of us. We'll save your sister from the claws of an old cleavers, and of course you'll meet her when the righteous Legion called out for his gods, screaming
Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Thank you, Typhoon. Thank you, I'm glad you liked it. Um, just gonna make myself a bit smaller so that you can see my screen. I hope you can hear me well. Um, well, that was fucking awesome. Thank you, Deppy. Thank you. Um, it's not 100% ready yet. If you noticed, it's not completely orchestrated in the end. Still have to add some orchestral tracks, but it's almost there. Still have to add a couple vocals. Probably rewrite the lyrics. For those who don't know, it was the track that we have released as Loud and Proud before Raventhorn. It was on this EP. I can show you if you see the screen from this one. It's Time to Live, Time to Die. And that's a track that was based on Erich Maria Remarque, if I pronounced it correctly, book Time to Live, Time to Die. Time to Die. So yeah. How are you doing today? Let me know in the chat. I moved my phone this time so that I don't have to look up all the time. And let me know if you can hear me well, because technical issues are always there on Ravenphone streams. Gotta close the Cubase. You got it, T? I thought that because it's Christmas tomorrow, I'm going to drink Glühwein today. I think it's called mild wine in English, so cheers. Also, added some Christmas atmosphere in here. Can do much more, unfortunately. I have a couple of decorations here, but they're not really useful for the stream. What have you prepared for the stream? Any drinks or snacks? Good, sounds good. Went to the dentist earlier today. Oh man, how did it go? Was it alright? I hate going to the dentist, as probably everyone on this earth. I hope it was alright. I think I'm still gonna move this thing because I can't see shit. Now it must be better. Yeah, now it's good. So, as you know, tomorrow is Nightmare in Eden's birthday. As I explained on one of the streams, we thought about what would be the most blasphemous thing to do with this release, and we decided to release it on Christmas. So, Christmas is not only Jesus' birthday. Yep, hate it too. Yeah. Today we're going to be listening to the deluxe edition, so we're going to add the bonus track in there. The funny thing about the cover art is that we couldn't decide between the two colors of the album, and we decided to choose green one as the original version, but for the main part of the album, and red for the bonus edition. The question I wanted to ask you is whether I should or not explain the story of the album, whether you know it or not. Because if not, I could pause after every song and then explain what's going on in the story. And I would also show the lyrics so that you know where we are. And if you want, you can growl or sing to that. Make sure to record it though. Oh, by the way, if you don't see any messages in the chat, you have to switch the settings. You have to switch to live chat setting because usually it's top chat in the beginning, and somehow it blocks out all the messages. So you might want to switch that. As if my neighbors need any more reasons to hate me. Well, the funny thing is, I recorded the vocals for Nightmare in Eden completely in my apartment back when I lived in Halle, and I didn't really have any good sound isolation. And um, neighbor from the left side of my apartment stopped saying hello to me when he saw me in the corridor, and the other one on the other side asked me one time what I was doing there with demonic vocals, quote. So yeah, I'm surprised I'm still alive after that. Nobody said anything. So yeah, I think what we're gonna do is just go through every track. I'm gonna pause after every track, and we're going to discuss the interesting details, influences, texts, and so on. So, what do you say? Should we start? Or are you not ready? Let me know in the chat. The preparation for the stream was a bit chaotic because as I was still trying to record the track till the end, Time to Live, Time to Die, and I practically finished recording it like half an hour before the stream. Debbie says, sound good. Sounds good. So I guess let's start then. Let me know in the chat if I should make the audio a bit louder because I can't hear myself. So if you have any wishes, I can add the loudness. Born ready. That's good. That's how you should be. So let's go. And the first, explain the story after. All right, so I will stop after each track and then explain the lyrics. So let's begin with Into the Veil. Let's go. So that's the first track and the intro. Debbie says volume is good for me. That's perfect. If you need any change, let me know in the chat. Absolutely epic. Thank you, Perfect Imbalance. Imbalance. How did I pronounce that? So yeah, first I'm gonna talk about Into the Veil. And Into the Veil was originally composed by Stefan, but not for the album. It was actually planned only for one of the trailers for the album. Back in times of Nightmare in Eden, we were not really present on Instagram and Facebook. That's why you won't really find the intro there. I believe it's on our channel, but I'm not sure. I think so. I think it is. But we actually composed it for the trailer, and it was also the first orchestral track that we've ever written, or Stefan has ever written. And yeah, we just decided to go with it because it fit the atmosphere, and that's the story of Into the Veil. And with Expel to Eternity, it's a similar situation because I've actually written the lyrics without music, and it's one of the few songs that I have written lyrics for without the music itself. And the same story with And Let the Story Begin. And originally we planned a different concept, but then we decided to change it into Nightmare in Eden and how it is now. But I created the character for another concept, but then we decided that it fit perfectly with what we want to achieve with Nightmare in Eden. Text-wise, it's just an introduction to the story. It introduces the main character Daniel, and Daniel is a serial killer because you can't have a Raventhorn concept without killers. So Daniel is a serial killer, and this line is important, murdering in the name of God. This line is important because it's not the God that you might think it is. You will understand what we mean by that a bit later in the story. So this song introduces the character, and it shows him trying to murder another one of his victims, and then he was caught by a police officer who tried to arrest him, but Daniel was quite a stubborn one, and he refused, and that's why he was shot by the police officer. Yeah, that's practically the story of the song. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat, and I'll talk a bit more about that. Spooky Squad Boy. Yeah, it's all about the spooky stuff. Well, that's a lot of Shadows of Lone Hill here. So yeah, if you don't have any questions, we'll move on to And Let the Story Begin, the second track, which is a bit longer than the first one. It's already a tradition that the first track on a Raventhorn release is the shortest song of the whole album. The album story is great. Thank you, Jean. Thank you. Really appreciate it. So I guess let's move to And Let the Story Begin. So yeah, that's the second track. The shadow is in plural for a reason. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about that meaning of the title before. um, where did you get the inspiration for this album? Well, it was a weird time for us musically because it was back then when we discovered Kara Hangren and we became huge fans of the band. But we also had those thrash metal roots from the Loud and Proud era. So throughout the whole album, you can see this mixture of previous inspirations and Kara Hangren and other symphonic black metal stuff. Um, and black metal in general because back then I got into black and death metal. It was around that time. Um, Out of the bands, I think the bands that have influenced us the most on Nightmare in Eden were Kara Hangren, as I said, then Death, maybe. Um, hmm. Honestly, we were inspired by Opeth as well, yeah, but we were inspired by quite a lot of books and films back then. So when we composed the music for the album, we thought about the whole story as a film of some sort. So, for example, um, hmm, if you know David Lynch, his works inspired us. He's a director, film director. Um, Twin Peaks, for example. Then Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane, I believe. Yeah, he's Dennis Lehane. This book is just incredible, and I recommend you to read that. It's inspired us quite a lot. And of course, Edgar Allan Poe, and you will see some references in the future. Um, yeah, story-wise, it's the second song that I have written lyrics to without actually writing music first. Um, it continues the story of Daniel, and this time he finds himself in hell. um, and then he meets Lucifer, who himself sees. It's written in German, but basically what I meant here is that I'll just translate it. This Lord of Fear, this Lord of Lust, more like Wish, sees four um, victims of a death scene, and it's some sort of foreshadowing. This four victims. You will understand what I mean by that a bit later. But in this song, it's yeah, we just continue the story of Daniel. He starts his conversation with the devil himself. Um, and Lucifer decided to explain to him um, why he is in hell. Um, yeah, and musically, both Expel to Eternity and Let the Story Begin, um, we have written them together with Stefan, um, and we just met up one time, and we had those texts for both Expel to Eternity and Let the Story Begin, and we decided to sketch some riffs and ideas, and Expel to Eternity was mostly composed by me, and in the middle there is this part with the harmonization, and it was written by Stefan. Um, and Let the Story Begin is really like 50-50. The first part of the song was completely composed by Stefan, and then after this part, this part was composed by both of us together, and then everything after that was more or less composed by me. And the inspirations for this track were mostly Kara Hangren, as I said, and Behemoth. You can notice some Behemoth influences in the second part. Is it better for you to write lyrics or music first, or doesn't it matter? Honestly, for me, it's always been easier to write music first. Yeah, I think so because I've written a lot of lyrics for other people. By the way, if you need any lyrics, hit me up. You can hire me to write lyrics. But I've written a lot of lyrics for other people, and I'm just used to seeing those rhythms in in music that will work well with lyrics, and that's why it's easier for me to write music first and then lyrics. But just as a form of an experiment, I decided to write lyrics first for both and Let the Story Begin and Expel to Eternity. And it was actually an interesting experience because when you're writing music after you've written lyrics, it's kind of a different flow. You have to think backwards, so to say. Um, so yeah, I was always impressed by bands who write lyrics first, like Hankan. Um, Yeah, but it also leads to some interesting song structures. It's not as straightforward when you write lyrics first. Um, yeah, and Expel to Eternity and Let the Story Begin were also um, probably the first tracks we've written for Nightmare in Eden. We have also played them live one time, or maybe even more. I think even more. In Moscow back when we were Loud and Proud because both tracks were released under the name of Loud and Proud back in the day, and I think you can even find the live versions on our YouTube channel. I might be wrong, but if there are no videos for that, I will upload them at one point. We have them on our Instagram page for sure, so you can check that out. Is that so? Who have you written lyrics for? Um, it's hard to say because mostly my mostly my clients wrote me without telling their project name. They just sent me the demos. I worked on this website Fiverr. I think I even have it here. Yeah, this one. I worked here. Yeah. Uh, so if you want, you can find me here. um, yeah, and I have written some gigs for them, and mostly they have just sent me demos or finished tracks, and I had to write lyrics for them. Mostly metal, but there were a couple of tracks that are a bit lighter. I have also written lyrics for my cousin's project. She plays more in the style of jazz, some avant-garde kind of jazz. So yeah. But I haven't written lyrics for other people for quite a long time. I think half a year now, because I was concentrating on my on Raventhorn in this time. Uh, might get back to it at some point. So, if you don't have any questions, we can continue listening to the album. And the next song is On the Bloody Hills of Babel, which turned out to be the favorite song of many people from this album. I mean, full of surprises. um, so yeah, I guess let's move to On the Bloody Hills of Babel. and that was on the Bloody Hills of Babel. That's a lot of crying. Actually, that part was a lot of tracks with Stefan's laughter, and we just reversed it in the end, so it's reversed laughter. It was kind of inspired by what David Lynch did with his Twin Peaks. He had something like that at some parts of the series. The sound of the guitar in this part is sublime. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. This song was mostly written by Stefan. My input was mostly drums and orchestra. And I've just realized that he has actually written the lyrics before we created the concept as well. So this one is one of the older tracks as well. And yeah, thematically it's Lucifer's version of what actually happened there. He told Daniel that God was actually spiteful, and he was doing all those crimes, and then he just realized that if he doesn't create something to blame it on, people will rebel against him and sooner or later overthrow him, and that's how Lucifer was created. And this figure that enters the Red Room is actually Lucifer, and God invited him to do the deeds. So yeah, it was like a twisted version of biblical stories. Musically, it was heavily inspired by Opeth, and yeah, especially the first part of the track. The second part is more like Stefan's experimentation, and I think it's actually the first track that we've written with odd time signatures. Yeah, that's about it. And back then, the process, back then our workflow with the orchestration was a bit different. If you have noticed, on Nightmare in Eden, it heavily relies on choirs, and one of the reasons was that we have never written orchestrations before Nightmare in Eden, so everything that we have done there was more or less experimentation, and yeah, we also didn't really know anything about the orchestral arrangements, and we didn't have any presets, and most stuff was recorded just with MIDI tracks. Yeah, and a lot of choirs. 100% less bells. Yeah, that's correct. And now I'm quite a fan of bells, so you will hear them quite a lot in the future, I think. If you have no other questions, we can move further to Of Crippled Perception. And I think then, I think this time we will listen to Of Crippled Perception and Defining Violence together, because Of Crippled Perception is some sort of an interlude between the songs. So I think we can discuss them all together. I think it would have actually made more sense if we had listened to Of Crippled Perception directly after on the Bloody Hills of Babel, because the story continues that story. So yeah, I guess let's move to Of Crippled Perception. Yeah. So as I said, of crippled perception is goes directly after on the social fall, no, on the bloody hills of Babel, and it's practically God's monologue, and he discusses people and um, he's wondering how he could have created something like that that resembles nothing like him. Um, so yeah, um, he's quite spiteful in this track. And here is the part where he explains that Lucifer is the one to blame, even though it's the gods doing. Um, my favorite song, and I love the swing part. So we have listened to um, two favorite tracks by now. For Depp, it's On the Bloody Hills of Babel, and for you, it's Defining Violence. Great. Defining Violence was also a combination of styles. Um, it was heavily inspired by both Kara Hangren and Immortal, because back then I was quite a big fan of Immortal and Abath, or Abbat, as he says. Um, yeah, Kara Hangren influenced the orchestrations of this track, and everything else was pretty much inspired by Abath and some of the death metal projects that I've listened to back then. Defining Violence is mostly my song, and um, yeah, and on this track we actually started writing lyrics together. Um, yeah, it's actually a story of a killer murdering a family, but it's not explained who this killer is. It's not obligatory Daniel. Um, you will see later on. And yeah, it's just a brutal murder in this track. Um, there is a reference to Twin Peaks out here, White of the Eyes and Dark Within. Um, if you're a fan of the series, you might have noticed. um, oh, and I forgot to talk about of Crippled Perception. This song was my first attempt to write an orchestral piece, and it was heavily inspired by Behemoth, especially their tracks on The Satanist, because Behemoth used brass instruments quite a lot, especially trumpets and horns, and I decided to write such a track, but in some form of an interlude, not a metal track. And the idea of this interlude actually came from Kara Hangren as well, because they usually have those kinds of interludes, for example. Um, yeah, you know them. um, and yeah, so it's a Kara Hangren style interlude, but in Behemoth style, let's say. Um, it was quite enjoyable to do this voice acting here. um, it's uh, it's Godil, Goody. Sorry, I'm a bit confused. Um, Godil. Thank you, I guess. Um, yeah, and with the next track, I think we'll have to listen to both tracks again at the same time, the passage and Up with the Crows, because the passage is another interlude without the text, or without the text this time, but still just an instrumental interlude. The stream has such a delay, I've just noticed. Um, maybe I can check it out here. Um, let's see. I don't think I can edit this straight away. Okay, it's fine. It is when the music and the story make you immerse yourself in it. The suspense is very immersive. Oh, I see. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really glad that you're enjoying the story and the music. Really happy with that, because it was our first attempt to write something like that. Like in general, this album, um, because it's our first concept album and the first album where we actually had to connect each song to each other. Um, the delay is always crazy. Yeah, that's true. It's probably just YouTube's delay. Yeah, it's just the thing. I think I might have forgotten. There is this setting before you start the stream, where you can actually choose the time of delay, so to say. It's like if you just want the stream to be running, like for example, when you are going with a monologue, an interview, or maybe playing something or something else, then you can choose the longest delay, because then you have the best video quality. And if you want a chat with the viewers, you can choose the short delay so that you can chat straight away. But then the video quality is a bit worse. And I think I might have forgotten to switch the setting, but on my phone I'm running from my personal account, so I don't have any delay there. So I see your messages right on time, but I see that I'm still like 20 seconds back, 20 seconds behind you. Um, yeah, I think let's um, continue with the passage and up with the crows. Um, Deku says second favorite for me. That's nice. Um, yeah, the passage was the track that Stefan composed. I believe it was also before the album, to be honest. Yeah, it's just an interlude there, so that the transition doesn't feel that harsh between the songs. And Up with the Crows, as well as Through the Mirror, are both mostly my songs. Yeah, these ones are a bit longer, and text-wise, story-wise, it gets a bit more interesting here, because a new character has been introduced, Detective, and right now we don't know the connection between him and Daniel, but in Up with the Crows, he wakes up during night. And just by the atmosphere, he realizes that something is wrong. And then, just out of nowhere, radio turns on, and he hears that on Nick Holmes' Passage 49, which is actually a reference to Bloodbaths and Paradise Lost's singer, Nick Holmes, there was a murder. Yeah, it's actually written Bloodbath here as well. And then they tell about this text that was written with blood on the wall. Take a look at yourself and resurrect. And the detective knew straight away that it was the riddle that was meant for him. So he packs his stuff and um, prepares for the ride to this place. Um, there are some foreshadowings here, but I won't explain them now because I might spoil something for people who haven't read the text yet. Um, so yeah, he takes the necessary tools and then tries to go out, and then he realizes that he left his key back home. So he rushes upstairs to his flat, and then he notices a crow sitting on the window. Um, Here's a question: since this album is set in like the modern times, while Lone Hill is set in Victorian era Britain, will the next album be about cavemen? Even before cavemen, it will be about dinosaurs, and about even before dinosaurs, it will be about molecules. Now, actually, the next album will be. Um, I can't say for sure because we still don't have any texts for the next album, but so far, what we know about the next story, it will be a mixture of times. Uh, yeah, right now it doesn't really make sense, but you will see what I mean later. It will be different timelines in the same concept. Um, yeah, musically, this one, I don't even know what it was inspired by because I remember writing this track just one evening when I wanted to jam with the riffs, and then um, somehow this song turned out to sound quite good, in my opinion, and then I just decided to record it this way. And the outro was a bit more death came through a phantom ship inspired. um, yeah, and you can also notice on this track that back then I wasn't really the main vocalist. Um, I had some harsh vocals going on there, like black metal type of vocals, but they were mostly back vocals. Stefan had both clean and um, blackish type of vocals throughout the whole track in the album, and I only had some screams in the background. Um, yeah, back then we didn't really have this separation between clean vocals and harsh vocals. It was all together at the same time. Caveman would be nice. I'm half archaeologist, anthropologist. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Um, Actually, I know a Russian band that makes songs about cavemen. um, they're also from Moscow. I'm not entirely sure how to spell their name. I'll try. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're on Spotify. Might be on Bandcamp. Um, let's try. Just a recommendation for you. Aha, this one. So if you want to listen to some metal about cavemen, here is the band for you. I'll send the um, title in the chat. The frontman is actually Demetha Grail, and he plays in like thousands other bands in Russia, including some symphonic black metal projects, symphonic death metal projects. For example, he plays in Greylight, in Lunar Autos, and um, he was featured on one of Second to Sun's tracks. Um, Acanora Mastrum, Nymphaeon, and yeah, a lot of different bands. um, no worries. I hope you enjoyed the band. It's a weird one, and I think it's the only band in the world that sings about cavemen. Groot Boink. Yeah. Um, but yeah, archaeology is actually really interesting. As a child, I wanted to become an archaeologist, but then my plans changed. My plans changed with time. I have to go. Yeah, now you have seen my recent search history. Oh, by the way, I found this project not so long ago, and it sounds really good. It's yeah, for those who like Wardruna and bands like that, you should probably check this one out because it's kind of something like instrumental Scandinavian folk band, and sounds really nice. They mostly use tagelharpa. It's this stringed instrument with 3 strings out of horsehair that you play with a bow, and a ritual drum. Sounds really interesting, so check that out. And now I have to go back to Nightmare in Eden. If you don't have any more questions, we can go and listen to Through the Mirror. All right, let's do it. Thanks for the recommendations, Nick. My pleasure. I hope you like it. Through the Mirror sounds kind of similar to On Whom the Sword Shall Fall and Descent. Really? Um, I felt like On Whom the Sword Shall Fall resembles Expelled to Eternity a bit more, but I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I think I see it. Um, Second favorite song. Oh, that's nice. What was your favorite? What was your first one? Um, Third favorite, especially intro. Second is And Let the Story Begin. All right, so far we've got the top three songs of the album. Um, I guess the first one would be On the Bloody Hills of Babel, then um, either this one or And Let the Story Begin, and then the third place for the remaining song. um, I think the same. It's from my favorite albums. Um, I'm glad you all like this. You all like this song. Really glad. Um, for me personally, one of my most favorite tracks of this album is probably On the Bloody Hills of Babel because it's so different to most of the tracks. Mm, I like this one as well. um, I remember I wrote it mostly inspired by Death and then just some of our thrash metal kind of roots, more like Loud and Proud kind of stuff. Um, and the outro, I just wanted to do something different emotionally for the outro, so that it's not only dark all the time. The Dueling Minds. Oh, so we haven't heard it yet. All right. We'll come to that soon. It's, yeah, in 3 songs. So yeah, story-wise, it's about the detective again. He's finally out. He's sat in the car and was on his way to the crime scene. But his ride was quite unfortunate because a tree fell on the road. He had to leave his car and walk in the darkness by himself. Then somehow, by some chance, he actually made it to this mansion where the crime was committed, and he noticed that there was no police around, which is quite weird for such a recent and violent crime scene. But he still decided to um, go in and check it out, and what he saw in there was quite a lot of blood and this message that they talked about on the radio. And then he just wandered around in this mansion and finally stopped by a mirror. And in the reflection, he saw his version, but from another world. Yeah, and that leads us to the next song. And I think with the next ones, we will listen to them together again, like Phantasm and The Act of Possession, because it's an interlude. Somehow on Shadows of Lone Hill, we didn't have that many interludes. And instrumental parts in general. That delay though, I can still see myself talking about the story, and I'm already like 20 seconds later. Alright, I guess let's move on to Phantasm and The Act of Possession. Little Hector. Yeah, that's actually as a direct reference to Kara Hankren's Little Hector, What Have You Done? We just thought, um, this young boy was haunted by a ghost of another boy, and we decided that Hector would be the best name for the ghost because we could tie both concepts together. Like in Little Hector, What Have You Done? Hector actually killed himself in the end of the song, and we thought it would be an interesting twist to add if the ghost of that boy haunted um, the character of Nightmare in Eden. Um, it doesn't have any influence of the storytelling whatsoever, but we thought that just as a small addition, it would be nice. So that's what the album's cover art is based on. Um, can you please remind me after listening to the full album to um, explain some details about the cover art because um, there are some details that are better explained when you know the whole concept. So I just don't want to spoil the plot for people who haven't read the lyrics yet. Um, there are a couple of things that are to be explained on the cover art. So yeah, Phantasm. Um, thank you. Um, so yeah, Phantasm was um, actually meant to be a bit more orchestral than that. I have written it with some orchestral presets, but then when we sent it to our sound guy, it turned out to be a bit more ambient than what I intended. I really forgot English, didn't I? A bit more ambient than what I intended to do. But we kind of thought that it fits the atmosphere of the album, so we decided to keep it this way. Mm. And the act of possession was mostly written by Stefan. And I think it has some of my favorite riffs on the album. I really like playing the intro riffs. Like not the intro riffs, but the verse riffs. And generally, I think it's Stefan did a good job with the intensity of the song. Um, yeah, and the song introduces a new character to the story, this young boy. So far, we don't know anything about him. He lived in the outskirts in a mansion, and he had this imaginary friend Hector, who turned out not to be so imaginary as his parents thought. Um, it was a ghost, as I said, of this Hector, not obligatory of the one from Kara Hankren's concept, but another boy. And parents didn't know anything about that, obviously. But one night, he decided to murder his parents. He took a knife from the shelf and then he entered his parents' room. And just by a chance, his father woke up and stopped him. And when he asked him why he was doing that, he explained that it was Hector's idea. Um, yeah, that is the story of the act of possession. I wish we didn't have that delay. I really wish we didn't. Um, I'll wait a bit in case you have any questions, and then we can move on to the Dueling Minds, which is the favorite song of Typhoon. And it's another long one, by the way. So yeah, if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat during the song, and I will answer them after the dueling minds. Let's move on. love that intro. Thank you. Um, yeah, this song was mostly written by me, I think. And in the intro, Stefan added this organ, and yeah, Stefan really likes organ, and um, yeah, I think it fits the intro quite well. Um, so yeah, I think I'll start with the story in the song. Um, in this song, we return to Daniel and the detective, and they actually meet for the first time in this song. This person that he has seen in reflection was actually Daniel, and then the fight began, um, and both sides were eager to win. However, when Daniel tried to fight Daniel, he was um, definitely losing because Daniel had this ability to just disappear in front of him and then appear behind him, which was quite weird and surreal to the detective. And then he asked Daniel who he actually is, to which Daniel uh, didn't give any response. Instead he just um, noticed. He just told him that he has been around all these years and they were equal all this time. Um, he pointed out that the detective has spent his life trying to find him and chasing him, but in doing so, he actually missed his chance to to make friends or build a family, and he's practically dedicated his life on finding Daniel. And then Daniel pointed out that if he wants to find out who he really is, he should look inside his mind, and one day he will find the truth. Um, yeah, um, and this is also some sort of foreshadowing. um, Time travel, yeah, of some sort. For example, here, where was it? Here, but either way you land in hell, there is no way out, and to that Daniel laughed, and that's kind of foreshadowing of some sort as well, because it actually happened before. Um, you'll see. I won't explain it now. Um, it will all make sense by the end of the album. Um, so Danny is some sort of primordial evil. Yeah, kind of. Daniel was quite an evil guy. um, Not the best person to meet. Um, yeah. So if you have no questions left, we can move on to Enraged, Haunted, Exiled. Let's continue. Um, Horror, foreshadowing, and bells are a holy trinity, and they indeed are. That's the best description for Raventhorn, if I've ever seen any. um, yeah, bombastic intro. Thank you so much. This song is also mostly Stefan's. Um, that's my favorite music tempo and vocals. Gosh, I forgot about the song. Need to revision my rating someday. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah. So on this track, you can really see our thrash metal roots. And yeah, text-wise, what I would find interesting is that there are two references to Loud and Proud on this track. One of them is Monarch Dark, this line, and the other one is, where is it? Yeah, I think I'm blind. I don't see it anymore. Ah, here. The struggle within him no longer goes on, and it's a reference to this EP that we've released as Loud and Proud back then. One of them is Monarchs of the Darkness, and another one, The Struggle Goes On. And again, it's a story about this little boy and Hector. And the situation has gone even worse because the boy has tried to kill his parents again. This time he decided to burn his home, and once again his father noticed him right before that, and this time they made a decision to expel him, to send him away from their house because the child was evil. And yeah, then the boy started to conspire to kill his parents again, but this time only after he found a new place to stay, and this time he had some time to prepare the murder. So little Hector started controlling his life completely. The boy was no longer a normal child. And for Hector puppet equals Daniel. You'll see that. You'll see that. I'll explain a bit more about the Hector thing later. So far, these are just like several storylines. One with Daniel, another one with the detective, and another one with this boy and Hector, and they just blend in with time. Yeah. We've actually played the song live as well. I believe it was on our last concert. I think so. Yeah, and I have posted a video of that on our Instagram page, so check it out. I think it was like a couple of months ago, so it's not so far away. Yeah, I really miss playing live. One day we will come back to the stage. Oh, I should actually update the bio here. Kind of missed that point. Yeah. If you have no more questions, we can continue to Hell of a Deal. And on this track, you should prepare for something heavy. Hell of a Deal is probably the heaviest track on the record. So let's just continue. Wait, this band has been on stage, thought it was entirely online. Yeah, we had some concerts back in the days of Loud and Proud, and by the end of that, we already had a couple of songs from Nightmare in Eden. So on our last show, we actually played Expel to Eternity and Let the Story Begin. I believe we played... Which song did I tell you about? Enraged, Haunted, Exiled, and something else. I don't remember anymore. But yeah, we played those songs. They had concerts as Loud and Proud. Yeah, that's correct. Hey, Black Metal Catalog. And hey, Lily to Dominique Dun. Thank you both for joining. Everyone say hello to people who joined us from NC. Nice. Yeah. As I said, this is probably the heaviest track on the record. The first two lines are actually the reference to the first track, not the first track, but And Let the Story Begin. So we actually go back to the story of Daniel, but him talking to Lucifer. And by the end of the story that Lucifer told him, Lucifer replies that he's impressed by his bravery and that he actually listened to him through all this story. And Lucifer decided to give him a second chance to save his dead parents. And this is the first song where we find out that his parents are actually dead. And Daniel has tried to save them. Yeah, Lucifer grants him his wish and turns back time. As I think it was Typhon who pointed it out, that there was some time travel aspect in the game. And yeah, Lucifer turns back time so that Daniel can save his parents. And yeah, in the end of the track, he goes back in time. And that's where we come to the loop. So yeah, if you have no questions, we'll continue. And into the veil we go. Yeah. That's true, that's also the reference, right? Yeah. Let's continue with the loop. Um, Interesting the way you're laying it out. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great song. Thanks for this show. Thank you guys. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the songs and the stream. So yeah, this one, I think it's also one of my favorite tracks of the record, and lyrically, it's following the Daniel story. He is now back in time, and he actually tracked down um, the killer of his parents, and he followed his footsteps right till that moment where the crime happened. And yeah, mm, so we observe his road to the murderer, and then he finally got to this house and noticed this macabre figure with knife. And that's where the fight began. And he actually killed the murderer of his parents. And by the end of the song, he realized that the person he was fighting was actually him. Um, so he saw himself. He just didn't realize that when he entered the house. And yeah, that's leading us to the uh, final track. So yeah, if you have no questions, um, we can move on. And I think we'll listen to Dreaming in Eden and The Fall of Palmer at the same time um, in one go, just to sum it up in the end. Yeah, let's continue. If you have any questions, just let me know in the chat, and I'll reply after the songs.
Sometimes the minds we can dream is harder to find than the reality we're in. And choosing to line up with the dreamers who dream on. The limits that a dream, and if a dream's a nightmare pure, the grounded we get in.
on it. Detective Daniel Palmer. The puzzle is complete. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake
This was epic. Thank you so much for this day. It was great. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Oh, hey, Lovecraft references. Which one? What do you mean? Which lands did you mean? Because I think back then we were not really into Lovecraft. That mostly happened already afterwards. So all those stories were just notes of Daniel sections. Yeah, that's actually like right now we're in the end of the album, and now I can explain what was going on all this time. So after Daniel found out that he was actually fighting himself in the previous song, he woke up in the cemetery, and then there is surreal vision around him, thousands of ghosts, and different ghosts floating around those tombstones. And then the sudden realization came to him that he was actually the cause of all these deaths. And he found his parents' grave, and he realized what he has done. And then he also met Hector, and I will elaborate on that a bit more. So yeah, and then he found his own grave that was standing lonely in the cemetery, and the name that stood on it was Detective Daniel Palmer. Palmer is actually a reference to David Lynch again. It will make more sense if you know Twin Peaks. So yeah, and the thing with Hector is, and if you remember, I told you to remember this phrase in the beginning of the album, that he was murdering in the name of God. He was sort of possessed by this Hector, and with time Hector became his own god. So as I said, that Hector started controlling his life, and he was the one causing him, persuading him to kill his parents. And with time he just started considering him as his own god, and just obeying his wishes. But at the same time, um we I don't want to say what really happened. I want to leave it a bit open to the interpretation, but um, um, you don't know if it's real or not. Like, our idea behind the album was that Daniel was actually all of those characters. He was the detective, he was the murderer, he was the person who killed the family in Defining Violence, and he was also the little boy who was possessed. But the thing with that is that we wanted to make this concept a bit more psychological, and I remembered now that I wanted to explain a bit more about the cover art. If you look at this cover art, you'll see that Daniel, you can notice him by a knife in his hand, is the only person who is standing in the entrance of the house, and everyone else, like the young boy Hector, Lucifer, right above him, this family, and the detective are all in the building. And the thing is, the concept is actually about uh, people dealing with the consequences of their own doing. So practically every character represents something that was going on with Daniel. Detective was the one trying to find the reasons behind him doing that. Uh, the children, like the little boy and Hector, were the causes from his childhood for that, and the family, yeah, it was just his family that actually turned him into who he became. Lucifer is just the representation of uh, the evil within him. Um, so yeah, it's about the struggle of everyone, struggle of light and darkness within everyone. um, but of course, you can also interpret it in a surreal way. Um, One of our ideas was that Daniel is actually a has multiple personalities, and that's what was going on there. But as I said, it's open for interpretation. I won't say that um, there is 100% correct version. Everything is right to some extent. Yeah, so that was the story of Nightmare in Eden. The first two verses kind of referenced what happened in the tomb. Um, I think I haven't read it yet, but I will. Let me write it down somewhere. Uh, I'll read it later. Um, um, I love that. Great job, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Um, so yeah, we still have the bonus track, Raven, and that's where Edgar Allan Poe comes into play. um, because the entire text is just Edgar Allan Poe's poem, um, The Raven. But not the complete version, because it would be a bit too long for a bonus track. So we just left parts of it. And it's quite a chill track, so prepared to relax after such a depressing ending of the album. Let's go.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many acquaintance and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber's door. 'Tis some visitor muttered, tapping at my chamber's door. Only this and nothing more, nothing Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating and no longer. So said I, oh madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so vainly you came tapping, tapping at my chamber's door. Then I scarce was sure I heard you. You opened wide the door. Darkness there, nothing more, nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard the tapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely, this is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thread is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more, and nothing more. Open here, flung the shatter, when with many a flirt and flatter in their steps a stately raven on the saintly days of yore. Not a masterpiece and smatey, not a minute stopped till statey, but the main, oh lord, oh lady, pitched above my chamber's door, pitched above my bust of Pallas, just above my chamber's door, pitched and sat and nothing more, nothing, nothing.
um, 23 minutes long bonus track. I think at some points we might do that because our albums are just getting longer and longer. I think Lunatic Soul with their new record Through Shaded Woods actually had they actually made a second CD with only bonus tracks, and one of the tracks was actually around 23 minutes long. Um, so yeah, we still have to reach that level of progginess. Is the phrase too long even a thing in prog culture? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Nice. Thank you. That violin sounded like a cartoon ice cream truck. I've never thought of it that way, but I guess. That violin in the end was actually meant to, like, the thing with the song is that it was not, like, originally we didn't even plan to put it on the album. It was just an instrumental piece that Stefan composed and recorded, and then I kind of felt like the Raven, the poem, would fit well into the song, so I offered him to do that, and that's how that's how the song was created. And this violin track in the end was actually meant to lead up to the next track that he has also recorded just mostly for himself, like for ourselves, that we actually wanted to add on Shadows of Lone Hill, and that was that track that I was talking about that was so very weird and more like a joke than an actual song that we didn't put into Shadows of Lone Hill in the end. And that song actually had the intro that related to that violin track in the outro. Yeah, a melodic and calm song. Alright, so here is a wild theory that Raven is just Seth. That's a good theory. Well, it's actually like the thing with him sitting on the sill in Shadows of Lone Hill. It's kind of a reference to Poe to some extent. It's just that I don't really want to spoil the what's gonna happen in the next album, but there will be an explanation as to why we. Oh wow! Someone had a. I don't know if you heard it, but there was like an explosion of this firework thingy. But there's actually an explanation as to why we use Edgar Poe's motifs so much. Like why we have this bonus track, The Raven, and why Edgar Poe appeared in Shadows of Lone Hill. It will all make sense in the next album. So yeah, that's kind of spot on with this theory. Jesus Christ, that delay is just insane. Oh, we heard it good. Yes, like I have this small area of not like village houses, but some small private houses for gardening and stuff like that, right in front of my window, behind the parking lot, and sometimes they just throw those fireworks. So it was right here, right in front of the window. Yeah, we heard on headphones. I hope it wasn't too loud for you. I should actually turn on some noise gate for the next time, because the microphone on the laptop is not the best one. I actually wanted to try out one thing with my actual microphone this time, because last time I tried microphone on the stream, you told me that the sound was going through one ear only. Yeah, but unfortunately I didn't have time to try it out because I was recording Time to Live, Time to Die before the stream. And I wanted to make it on time. But for the next stream, I think I found out why it was going only through one ear, so I think we can try it out next time. Or I could just open Cubase and select it as a track for the monitor. Let's see. The next stream will probably be songwriting stream again. And there's actually a question I wanted to ask you, is whether or not you are celebrating the New Year, New Year's Eve. Because I was thinking about making a stream before the New Year. I'm not sure if it will be on the 31st of December, because I might not be home for that, but maybe the day before that, or maybe even on the day of the New Year's Eve. Who knows? So what I wanted to ask you is whether or not you have anything to do during that, and whether or not you celebrate um, New Year. So if you want, we could make a stream happen before that. There's always next time, so it's all good. Yeah, we'll just try it out next time. I have a couple of ideas, but I still have to buy this not a tripod thing, but like a stand for the microphone. I should buy this streaming microphone at some point. They're so much more comfortable than the studio mics that I used for vocals. It would be so simple. You could use this small platform stand thing for the microphone, and it will just be here. We have lockdown in Poland on New Year's Eve, so no celebration. Same here. I see. Yeah, kind of same here. We have lockdown since last Wednesday, I believe. I'm not sure anymore. Probably not celebrating it this time. Yeah, so it seems like no one is really doing anything on that day, so we could actually make the stream happen. What kind of stream would you like? Because I have a couple of ideas. For example, we could make a song composing stream, but then we would have to continue the piece from the last time. We could try and recreate some of Loud and Proud songs. Not Time to Live, Time to Die, because I'm already working on it and it's almost done, but something else from that time. We could also get up to watch some videos, or I don't know, maybe a film, but I still don't really know how to stream films anywhere. Probably not on YouTube. If we're doing a film thing, then it won't be on YouTube because I can't stream because of the copyright issues. But maybe on Discord or somewhere else if you know how to do it. And another idea I had was music review / reaction kind of thing. So you could actually send in some tracks of yours, some tracks that you want me to listen to, and I could react to them in live version. I'm not sure about the copyright thing. I think it will be alright because some of the streamers I watch actually do those music reaction things on during the stream, so it should be good. Should be good. So we could also go for that. Recreate Loud and Proud. I don't have Discord. We'll have Nick the Music stuff. Oh, we could do a longer stream, music review. All right, so we have 2 for the music review and 1 for Loud and Proud. We could. We could try to combine both things. We could start with music review, listen to some music together, and then move on to playing some music on our own, like jamming or recreating Loud and Proud. That might be a longer stream, but we can also start a bit earlier than today. What do you think? I think that would be a good option to combine the two. I would like to hear some music of yours. If you have a band, you can also send your band stuff. I won't be against that. Make a poll on Insta too. Oh, that's actually a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, I think I'll just announce it a bit earlier and then, yeah, we're gonna think of something. I don't think I'm gonna do anything on the New Year's Eve too. So yeah, it will probably be then, or the 30th of December, either that or that. Sounds good. Sounds fun. Combine. Yeah. So we'll plan it for the next time. Yeah, guys. So I think that's where we're gonna end today's stream. For those of you who would like to join me on Discord, I will be there in a bit. I would only grab a couple of snacks, maybe something to drink, because I'm quite hungry now. And then I'll be there maybe in like 20 minutes, 20, half an hour, something like that. So if you would like to join me for a chat, definitely join in on Discord. The link is in the description, I think. Have to check that. Yeah, the link is in the description. So if you would like to join, just join in. And I think that's it for today's stream. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining. And there are some new fireworks out there. People are already celebrating. Before I leave, let me know what you're gonna do tomorrow for Christmas, whether or not you're visiting your family, and whether or not you celebrate Christmas in general. Because in Russia, Christmas is not a big thing. In Russia, New Year's Eve is much more important. Christmas, like Orthodox Christmas, is later than the Catholic one. I think it's around 6th of January, maybe 7th. I'm not entirely sure, but in Russia, only religious people celebrate Christmas. And New Year's Eve is like a family. It's like family time. Before I used to go back to Russia around this time, but yeah, second year in a row, I have to stay here. So yeah, let me know what you're doing tomorrow. They're celebrating Nightmare in Eden. Yeah, that's true. Tomorrow is another reason to celebrate. Nightmare in Eden is 2 years old tomorrow. Really can't believe that it's been so long since the release. I think by the time of the release, I was actually living here. Yeah, that's true. We composed the entire album when I was back in Halle, but then I moved to Leipzig and we released the album from here. Oh, you can actually see some of you are here. Deppy is here. Won't be getting anything due to monetary constraints. I see. Yeah, this year is tough with everything, with celebrating, with everything. But yeah, enjoy tomorrow. Try to make the best out of it. Even though a lot of people can't go anywhere anymore. If you're up for the chat, you can always text me on Discord or the WhatsApp group. I don't know if anyone here, except for Deppy, is in the Raven Cult WhatsApp chat. But if you would like to join, you can send me a DM on Instagram and I will add you in there. But the WhatsApp chat hasn't really been active the last few months because we kind of moved to Discord. Yeah, that's an elegant way to put it, yes. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, guys, hopefully it wasn't the last stream before the new year. I hope I will see you soon, probably next week. Let's see. Let's look at the calendar. So 31st of December is next Thursday, and 30th is Wednesday. So yeah, I guess it will be next week. Let's just think of what we could do next week to celebrate it the best way we can. And I think that's gonna be it for today's stream. It's 10 o'clock here. And yeah, thank you for joining today. Thank you for celebrating Nightmare Eden's birthday with me. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the album, and it was really nice talking to you about it. Yeah. It's also the first time that I actually explained the entire album. I tried doing something like that on my Instagram page with those short videos, but I find this limitation of Instagram videos a bit too short because I can't really I can't really make it to explain the entire song in 1 minute. So yeah, it's better if we do it on the stream like now. So yeah, thank you guys. See you and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you all. I hope you can make the best out of it. Thanks for streaming, Nick. Happy holidays, everyone. Thanks for partying. It was great. Thanks. Thank you, guys. Really glad that you enjoyed it. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see each other before the New Year, so I won't rush with that. But Merry Christmas. And Merry Nightmare in Eden, not sure. So yeah, have a great evening. Those of you who want to join me on Discord, the link is in the description. I'll be there in about half an hour. So see you there, and good night to everyone who doesn't join me there. Bye, guys. It was nice seeing you.